Hi, back to So You Want to Sell Real Estate, Part 2. We'll start by just saying, in a way, what you're getting into is sales. With all of its promise, you must remember that first and foremost, you're contemplating a career in sales. In fact, you are considering joining an elite group. That is, joining the ranks of professional real estate agents and brokers. I say professional because it is my sincere hope that if you join us, you'll become a professional. Should you choose to join us, it will not take you long to distinguish the professional from the not-so-professional real estate agent. The professional is the agent that continually upgrades his or her knowledge of real estate, is active in an association of realtors, and makes a very good living. The not-so-professional agent, on the other hand, could literally make more money than a 9-to-5 job. Once licensed, they feel that they know all there is to know about real estate, and they certainly don't have the time spent working on realtor activities or continued study. I'll explain the difference between realtors and non-realtors later. Becoming a professional in this business involves much more than getting your license. It involves more than new cars, fancy clothes, and a handful of business cards. A true professional in this business has to be a consultant, counselor, shopper, financial advisor, and to some degree, a salesperson. And I say some degree a salesperson because in all my years in the business, I've never sold a house. Well, I've had hundreds of people buy homes from me, but selling real estate is not like selling cars, clothes, jewelry, or anything like that. Real estate buyers have specific wants and needs. Your job becomes to determine what these wants and needs are and match the buyer with the right property. The greatest salesperson in the world will not be able to sell someone a property they don't like or need. Are you ready? The most troubling question contemplated by anyone entering the real estate business is usually, do I have what it takes to be successful? The most common answer to that question is, sure you do. You must recognize that that answer is usually coming from someone with a vested interest. You're getting into the business. A broker looking for new agents, or an operator of a proprietary school wanting you to take a licensing course. This shouldn't come as a surprise to you, but it's possible that one or both of these parties may have something in mind besides your well-being. Okay, so everyone wants your money, and all you want to know is if you can be successful. Where do you go to get the answer? Same place most sound answers come from, yourself. That's right, you have the answer, but to find that answer will take some real thought. First, you must define what success means to you. It doesn't matter what your broker or friends think. It's your definition of success that counts. Does success mean money, freedom, time with your family, a new house, a new car, travel, all of the above? Everyone has his or her own definition of success. You must take the time to decide what success means to you. No broker, teacher, or friend can do that for you. How will you ever know if you succeed at any venture unless you know what you set out to do in the first place? Defining success may sound easy, but I can't stress enough the importance of being honest with yourself. What is really important to you? And just as importantly, what is important to your spouse or significant other? Real estate becomes a family business, and those that enter the business without the support and understanding of those around them have little chance for success. You're talking about changing your lifestyle, your work habits. Take the time to discuss and understand the significance of the steps you're about to take with those that are going to be most directly affected. While this may seem rather elementary, I recommend you take the time to write down your definition of success. Why write it down? Because studies have shown that writing down your definition of success and your goals helps to solidify them in your mind. No one is watching you. Be honest with yourself. It's your future. What you write down will become the foundation for establishing your goals and evaluating your chances for success. This business can be tough. You have to know where you're going. How about asking a couple of questions for you regarding success? Let's start with number one. If you could be anything or anyone in the world, what would that be? What are the most important things in your life? Not necessarily material. How about what sacrifices are you willing to make to become successful? Examples are you will sacrifice evenings home, weekends, giving up that vacation for a year or two, going to classes when everyone else is at home watching TV or out on the town. Things go on all the time. Are you willing to leave them? Just remember, there is no free lunch. Do you have what it takes to overcome rejection? This is a tough one, but an essential part of this business. Real estate is a numbers game. What I mean is that in order to get a yes from a prospect or client, you will have to live with a large number of no's. Many people leave the business over this very issue. How about is your family or that special person in your life as committed as you are? I've never known a successful agent that did not have the full support of those around them. We all need a little pat on the back after a bad day, and encouragement to keep going when things just get a little too tough. Arguments over hours and finances during the early years of a career can literally spell disaster. Write down your answers to these questions. Think about them. Discuss them. There's no hurry or right answer. Regardless of what anyone may tell you, there are always brokers willing to employ you. Even the less talented agents find a place to work. And if you get into the business, I'm sure you are planning on being one of the good agents. Brokers will be begging you to join them. It's too important a decision to rush. Now, what about getting licensed? Next step. The first direct cost you will incur, of course, will be the cost of obtaining your sales or broker's license. The cost will vary, and you can determine this easily by making a few calls to local proprietary schools or possibly the local university or college. You should call the local proprietary schools and colleges, determine and compare costs. Completion of a basic curriculum at an accredited school will be required, in addition to passing a test that is mandated by your state's real estate commission. There's no getting away from these things. The courses themselves will require a specific number of hours in the classroom or an approved correspondence course in order for you to obtain your license. Generally, you can figure on 2 or 3 nights a week for 6 to 8 weeks to complete the sales course. Selecting a school is a matter of personal preference and convenience. Regardless of the sales pitch, your primary concern at this point has to be the school's percentage of graduates actually passing the state exam. Nothing could be more frustrating than spending the time and money and not pass the exam. As a general rule, if a real estate school has been in business for 2 or more years, they're very successful at teaching students to pass the exam. It's tough. But let's talk about finding that school. Who would you like to go to school with, and what are the criteria? Let's think about this. The number of real estate schools tends to fluctuate with the real estate market. When the market is good, they seem to open on every corner. In slow times, just the old line established ones remain. I'm sure some of the new schools are quite good. But when it comes to investing the amount of money necessary to become licensed, I would rather err on the conservative side. Remember, your only goal at this time is to pass the exam. Know what you're getting into. Interview at least 2 schools and ask for references. If you have a friend in the business, ask them about schools. The more information you get, the better. You need to ask the following questions. Is the school accredited? Now, most are going to be, but it is imperative that they be if you're going to get the hours necessary for your license to be approved by the state. What percentage of graduates pass the state exam on the first try? You pay each time you take the exam, both in time and money. Go with the best. How big are the classes? You'll have questions, and the smaller the class, the more time the instructor will have for your personal questions. Are DVs or web-based classes available if you miss a class? Regardless of intentions, you may miss a class. And CDs and web-based classes are one of the best ways to make up without delaying your completing the course? Are the instructors practicing agents or just instructors? Either can get you through the course and the exam. But the practicing agent can also give you some insights regarding the real world. Pick the school you're most comfortable with, and that is the most convenient for you. You don't need any excuses for missing classes. Attendance in class is crucial, and in most states it is mandatory to obtain your license. Now for the shocker. What you're about to do is spend the next several months learning how to pass a test. That's right, pass a test. You're going to learn many things you're probably never going to use. In addition to learning essentials of the business, real estate law, contracts, fair housing, finance, you're also going to learn how to read and understand the questions on the test. This is no easy test, so it's imperative that you take the classes seriously. You may very well be the world's greatest salesperson, but it won't count if you can't get a license. Your time in school, while admittedly frustrating at times, will prove to be the foundation that your career rests on. To be successful, you need to master the basics. Brokers will expect you to be able to write a contract, be competent in the basic math needed to figure payments, and of course, commissions. You need to master the essentials, contracts, financing, and law. Everything you do from the day you pass the exam will be founded on your knowledge of these basics. Now, we have something new that has come up, and that is you can take the entire course online. I think it's a great way to do it if you have some experience. Maybe you're great at doing things online. But from my perspective, I would recommend that you take a class with other people around to discuss things and do the things you have to do. If you've got experience, you can sit down, take it online, and get the test done. But remember, the one disadvantage to taking a course online is you have no interaction with other people or your instructor. Just a word of advice, there are people doing it every day. My goal is for you to find out if this is what you want to do for a living. And I look forward to talking to you in our next session. And once again, go out there and make it a great